Well, hello, and welcome back, once again, to Doomed. Solo drafted playthroughs through Arkham Horror, the card game with a focus on roleplay, storytelling, and, in these drafted playthroughs at least, not dying. Collecting points for arbitrary challenges that have been going very badly. In the name of fun. I'm thrilled to be back, guys. I'm really, really chuffed. Because it's been the holidays, there was a longer than normal break given, and I absolutely forgot that this was ongoing, and perhaps more importantly, couldn't find a spare moment. But spare moment we did, and just under the wire. I think this scenario is due in like a day. So I gotta play Scenario 6 of the Forgotten Age with my drafted Jenny, my drafted Leo, and then go and not record and go play my Ursula Downs Expeditious Expedition, which is okay. Look, we're going middle of the pack here with these, and it's not about points. I'm having a really good time. I feel like definitely there was a way to really prep and really make this like a cool challenge and stuff, but for me, I'm just having a good time. Ah, boy. Okay, we are absolutely chuffed to be back. I'm just doing some stuff here off camera while I'm chatting with all of you. What do I want to say about this? Yeah, we're back with Doomed Drafters. If you recall, Jenny has taken a wild beating across this campaign to the tune of 3 physical and 5 mental trauma. Now, to be fair, I drafted in the thick of it. That's 2. The Forgotten Age hands it out like candy, and I've been defeated a couple times, and searching for Izzy gives mental trauma. Hell. It's been rough. Now, I had 4 XP to draft, which of course meant for Jenny, I was like, great, let's find some more horror soak. Didn't, immediately, of course. But I managed to upgrade an Eon chart, and I took another copy of Momentum, which I think specifically in this scenario will be good. Leo continues to draft pretty well. Another Savant, great in this scenario again. Quite good in this scenario. Yeah, it's fine. And a copy of Gret Wagner, level 3. Pretty sweet. So, I think we're going to kick some Yithian butt. Get some clues. What do I want to say otherwise? This has been great. Thanks to Trotic for organizing this. I'm really enjoying it. This might be the end of the campaign for these guys, just given how it works. I can neither confirm nor deny that's going to happen, but we're just going to do our best. And hopefully you'll be able to join us back for the next one, if there is a next one. And if not, you'll have to look forward to some more Doomed content over the coming month. At the time of recording, we're a month or some weeks out from the Drowned City coming out, which I'm really excited about. I'm pretty certain I'm going to be taking Marion Tavares through the Drowned City, which will be awesome. I'm so excited to play like a Guardian solo who actually can probably play solo. But like it's going to be great. And so before that, I'll probably do a couple standalones. Probably not start another Twombed until after. But there's lots going on. If you have any interest or questions, concerns, or comments about Doomed, of course, leave them in the comments. Blanky Cat, I know you do. Thank you. And thanks to everybody. Okay, let's just get in there, right? Music still playing? Oh yeah. Music too loud? Who knows? I say we read our... No, we do our setup and then we read... Yeah, we do our setup and then we read our setup. Oh, God. No, actually, I have to do setup first because it specifically... Yeah, it says before drawing opening hands, so I will read. If we recall correctly, at the end of Scenario 5B, they made it down into the gate of the Nexus of Nkai, after limping and dragging themselves there, where Alejandro Vela revealed himself to be an alien or in league with some aliens, then they got knocked out. Scenario 6, the City of Archives. You remember very little of the next few days. Your consciousness fades in and out as your body grips with exhaustion, and your mind feebly attempts to comprehend what exactly has happened to you. The inhabitants of this place are the same creatures you saw Alejandro consorting with. Immense corrugated cones of clammy flesh with 4 thick limbs extending from the top. They are horrifying to look upon, but they do not harm you as you expected they might. The first few days are spent restrained and questioned by the creatures, several of which are somehow able to communicate in English. Others reproduce your language using an odd, futuristic machine played like a musical instrument. Beedly-deet. Where are you from? Tell me about your home planet. You are reminded strangely of the jazz piano at the Nightingale. That's Jenny, of course. It is only then that you realize your body has been altered. You have no hands or fingers to play the keys, no legs to walk upon, no lungs to scream out. Body horror. You are one of them now, one of the creatures that has taken you captive, and your original body is nowhere to be seen. Despite your captivity, the creatures do not seem intent on harming you. Instead, they merely interview you, asking you all manner of questions about a broad range of topics. Your society, your profession, your technology, ecosystem, your human body. Their thirst for knowledge is unyielding, unending. Their questions range from the mundane to the complex. They implore you to write copiously in your own language, taking anything you write to store away in their vast archives. You are informed that you will be able to roam the city freely if you comply. The investigators must decide. Cooperate, tell other creatures everything you know, or refuse and resist captivity. I'm feeling like, and this is interesting to me, because I feel like, story first on Doomed, and frankly, I don't remember the big differences between these two. Leo, being the expedition lead, would refuse. I'm just going to go ahead and do that. They would refuse, and they would resist captivity. Jenny is pretty messed up, but she's still looking for Izzy. I wonder if she would also maybe refuse captivity. They're not scientists, these two. They just want to go home. These creatures abducted you and even stole you from your own body. You refused to give your captors even a single answer. You'd spit in their faces if you could. If you knew how to spit with such body. And if you knew which one of these creatures' 4 distendable appendages was a face. Breaking free of your restraints is a hopeless endeavor, but you struggle to escape regardless. Your efforts do not go unnoticed, and one of the creatures is assigned to watch you. It seems more concerned with preventing you from harming your body than preventing you from escaping. After many days of captivity, you find a way to use this to your advantage. You struggle so hard against your restraints that they pierce into your leathery, cold flesh, drawing out a bit of viscous slime blood. Your guard quickly approaches, clicking its claws together repeatedly. It undoes your restraints, and the moment it does, your claw appendages strike at what you believe to be the creature's throat. It collapses to the floor, writhing in pain. Record that the investigators resisted captivity. This feels very Leo to me, so I'm not unhappy about that. I'm about to eat my words. The the investigators to Gators resisted captivity. Unsurprisingly. Okay, setup. So gather some encounter set stuff. Before drawing opening hands, each investigator searches their deck and play areas for all unique items, set them aside out of play. They do not exist in this time period. Unique items. I can't remember. I think we're about to get royally boned because I feel like Runic Axe is unique, but I'm going to find out. Also, Alejandro Vela, set him aside. But we don't have an Alejandro Vela. I'm going to quickly search my deck for any unique assets. Thermos! Oh, Jenny's twin 45s. Bye-bye! To be fair, I don't know how freaking useful those would have been, actually, so I'm okay with that. The Elder Sign Amulet? Not unique, come on. Fox Masks, no. The Treasure Hunter is not unique, of course. He's just some guy. Lonnie Ritter, bye-bye. That's bad. Yeah, oh, ay, we're gonna regret that. Alright. Wait, no, is it unique items? Unique item assets. So that is Jenny's twin 45s. But Lonnie Ritter stays in the bank. Now let's have a look at Mr. Well, that's weird. Where's Leo's thing gone? Cyclopean Hammer, not unique. Take that. Just kind of going through here. I know there's a faster way. The faster way would have been to do this before talking to y'alls. The Exploration Journal is out. That's okay. Mitch Brown is unique, but he's an ally. Greta Wagner is unique, but she's an ally. Where are you? Runic Axe. Runic Axe is a unique item asset. Oh, shit. All right. So we each lost a couple of things. It's meant to target stuff like the Expedition Journal. But it also specifically... Yeah, okay. So the Twin 45s, the Runic Axe, Expedition Journal. Big oof. Take out Alejandro Vela. It says before drawing opening hands, so I feel like we do set up first, right? Replace each investigator's card with a Body of a Ythian. Let's talk about Body of a Ythian. Each investigator's deck remains the same, but we must be Body of a Ythian. So we've been body swapped, right? So you can't use any investigator abilities. For Jenny, that's 2 resources a turn. For Leo, that's at the beginning, when your turn begins, play an ally, reducing its cost by 1. Woof. So trauma is transferred. Yuck. Cards that were attached to or placed underneath your investigator card. So that's how you get around Sephina. So if you were playing as Wendy Adams, treat the Body of a Ythian as if its title were Wendy Adams. Fine. Okay, great. That's fine. All right. Check the campaign log. If the investigators resisted captivity, put Restraining Chamber into play. You begin in the Restraining Chamber, randomize the other 2, and put them into play as well. I think there is a resisted captivity placed. There's the Restraining Chamber. We're gonna put ourselves into play up here, and then we'll randomize these 2 and put 1 there and 1 there. I'm going to continue to just look to see if there's anything else. Put the 3 Halls of Nakatus into play. The Custodians are okay, out of play. Great. Aha! And I should have said here, search the gathered encounter sets for a Ythian Observer and place it in the victory display. And it has victory 1. So, if we survive, that's a free XP, baby. He said, not the least bit, you know, I mean, we're definitely screwed, right? Oh, this is Heart of the Elders. Let's delete that. Let's not read the agenda or act yet. Let's look at our our new investigator cards. So Bodies of a Ythian are captive in another form. They have 7 health and 7 sanity, which is okay. Jenny had 7 sanity already, so it is what it is. And actually, Leo loses a health but gains a sanity, and I feel like that's a decent trade. So we're still only on 2 sanity remaining for Jenny the Ythian Barnes. It is what it is. Okay, the City of Archives. -1 for skulls, -3 if you have 5 or more cards in hand, so get that shit out of your hand. Although knowing what I know, that's a bit of a trap. Cultists and Elder Things are -2. We have 2 Elder Things in the bag. -2. And tablets are -3, but we don't have any tablets, So if our bag is pretty decent, actually, it's not bad. And now, before we do setup, draw 3 random cards from the tarot deck and choose 1. Hey! All right, Leo. Oh, man, something with a commit would be pretty good here. I don't know if that exists in the tarot cards. The Star. After I reveal an Elder Sign, I may heal a damage or a horror. Not bad. During setup, I can take up to 2 additional mulligans. That might be really good. And the Moon. The first time I would run out of cards, shuffle the bottom 10 cards of their discard pile back into their deck. I like this a lot because I meant to look at Body of a Ythian. They're 2/2/2/2. Gross. Each of your allies gain the Ythian trait. Reaction. After you commit a card to a skill test, double the skill icons on that card. And then the Elder Sign is +2 draw cards. You're meant to just throw shit into skill tests. To mimic, I think, the idea that you don't know how your body works. You're just you're using everything you have. You don't have any way of holding stuff, really. So, Elder Sign is completely luck-based. 2 mulligans is pretty good. And the Moon would be basically, if I got through my deck, I would get some cards back. I think I'm going to take the Hanged Man because I want Leo to have some sort of damage option and some sort of clue option, and maybe even Gret Wagner. Gret, who I think, little preview here for anyone who was watching this before it comes out. The plan is to have Marion Tavares know and be journeying with Gret Wagner, either because they're on the same ship or because they're going to go hunt things together. Who knows? Okay, I think we draw our opening hands now, and then we're going to go have a look at the agenda and the act and the locations and all of this. We still have Streetwise, but we no longer have 2 resources a turn, so Streetwise becomes a lot less useful. Let's have a look at Jenny Barnes. Jenny Barnes! Okay. I'll take that with an Eon chart, momentum, and a watch this. I don't know what I would use the watch this on. An evasion, I guess. After you commit a card to a skill test, double the skill icons on that card. So momentum's become +1. Okay, well, I don't want the watch this, I don't think. I like the I'll take that into the Eon... I mean, I don't, actually. I'll just play the Eon chart straight. That seems really good. I'll keep the 2 momentums, because that's going to be really nice. And I'll redraw into a Fox Mask and a Grit Your Teeth. Leo can take up to 2 additional mulligans. If I get the perfect hand, I'll be furious. Okay, untimely transaction does nothing for me. So I drop that. B-Cop is good here for the combat, because I'm going to need it. Elusive is not useful, and I think things like Calling in Favors and Guard Dogs, they stop being as useful, so we go 4. Here's a question. Yeah, you can take... Here's a question about how mulligans work. I don't know if mulligans... what am I looking for here? I'm looking for the word mulligan, basically. Because what I want to know is, does mulligan involve throwing stuff back into your deck? Or do I get to now leave those in my discard pile? That player has a single opportunity to declare a mulligan on any number of drawn cards. They are set aside. An equivalent number of cards are drawn and added to the player's hand. The set-aside cards are then shuffled back into the player's deck. Okay. But I can then take... Okay, so these are going to shuffle back in. Okay, got it. Okay, so I like the flashlight. I like the wolf mask. Narrow escape seems good, but I don't actually know if there's that many enemies off the bat. I'm going to want money. And strong-armed only works if you have a melee asset. So actually, I'm going to toss those 2 as well. Okay, Monster Slayer and Gret Wagner. Even better. Great commit, too. Combat, Intellect, Wild, doubled. Oof, delightful. Okay. Alright, let's have a look at our agenda and our act here. Agenda 1A, City of the Great Race. Somehow you have awoken in a futuristic city inhabited by odd alien creatures beyond your imagining. You must explore this strange place if you are to find a way out, but your new body is difficult to get used to. I forgot about this. Investigators cannot put item assets into play, including item weaknesses. Well, that actually... Okay, I should have... I should have known that. Alright, well, Fox Mask and Eon Chart stay for later. Flashlight and Wolf Mask stay for later. Hopefully I can use them. Right. Right. Somebody remind me to tell somebody that I'm about to play Forgotten Age with. They're going to be furious. They're going to be so mad. Okay. Act 1A. Exploring Nakotus. Getting out of this strange city might be harder than you thought. Its halls are endless and filled with all manner of complex futuristic machinery. Each copy of Ythian Observer gains aloof. 4 clues. We need 4 clues. Easy peas. Interview room. It's a 4-shroud 2-clue location. Gross. Victory 1. We like that. Action parley. Test intellect 4 or combat 4 to interrogate the captive mind restrained here. If you succeed, remember that you interviewed a subject. That sounds like a task. If you fail, take 2 horror. Okay, well, that sounds like something Leo, body of a Yithian, Anderson might attempt. Okay, can I commit... I can commit momentum to someone else's test. I'm reducing the difficulty of my next test. Oh, gosh, excuse me. Okay. Items can't be put into play. Ugh. All right, well, we need clues, and this has a victory point, and there's a parlay action here. So, let's start with Mr. Bojangles. Mr. 5 resources and an action to play Gret Wagner the Purifier. You get +1 combat and +1 intellect. After you defeat an enemy, exhaust Gret, deal a damage to her, discover a clue at your location or a connecting location. Pretty good. Great ability. So now I'm just 1 under, basically, on this test. So, let us test combat. And I think this is going to work. After you commit a card to a skill test, you are performing. Double the skill icons on that. Okay, so if I attempt to parley with the... interview a subject. I'm trying to interrogate the captive mind that is restrained here that isn't me. Or Jenny. So I'm testing combat force. So I'm at 3, 4, 5, because I doubled the icons on the beat cop. 6 if I throw momentum in from Jenny. 7 with this Monster Slayer. Let's test it. 7. -2. I pass by 1. So Jenny, you have a reduced difficulty, reduction of 1. But we pass. I'm going to put a horror on this location to remind myself that I've done this task. And then, yucky ducky, getting clues here is going to be an absolute nightmare for now. So I am going to have Leo, I think, leave. Unless he can commit to the... He can commit to her Jenny's test, so maybe that's the plan. Yoy. Yeah, maybe that is the plan. Okay, that's the plan. So we draw a card. Okay, cool. Over to Jenny. Jenny, we've got a 4 shroud 2 clue location. I'd love to get the clues off of it, and we need them. So I have 2 intellect. I'm going to investigate. 2 versus 4. I'm going to have Leo commit this flashlight. 3. It's only a 3 difficulty because the shroud is 3, reduced by 1. So I'm at 3 to 3 currently. 5 to 3 because I'm doubling the skill icons on momentum. Yeah. Nice. Okay. And reduce the difficulty of the next skill test to perform this phase by 2 now because I succeeded by 2. I'll get a clue. So now I'm committing. Now I am 2 to 2 on this skill test. 2 to 2. I'll have Leo unbelievable. I'll have Leo commit this intellect icon, so I'm at... this is unreal, guys. So 3 to 2. 4 to 2. Ooh, what am I committing? God, the Eon chart's so good. But I feel like Body of a Yithian is going to be so bad for these things. I feel like free move is too good to pass up. I also don't know if Grit Your Teeth is really gonna... It might be valuable. I'm gonna... Oh my god. I'm gonna commit the Fox Mask. 4 to 2. Uh-oh. No, -2. -2. And if you fail, place one of your clues on your location. Phew! Okay, so we get the other clue. Okay. And now JennYthian is gonna move out into the halls with like a Nakotus. Why am I having trouble with that? Oh, because it's not an English word. At this point, it appeared the desert sands lay directly upon a floor of some titan structure of Earth's youth. How preserved through eons of geologic convulsion, I could not then and cannot now even attempt to guess. 3 shroud 1 clue. Later I had visions of sweeping through cyclopean corridors of stone and up and down gigantic inclined planes of the same monstrous masonry. 3 shroud 1 clue. During your turn, choose and discard a card from your hand to move to another copy of Halls. Well, I don't have any actions left, and I'm not moving by discarding a card. So, oh, and I forgot I have Streetwise. I probably should have used it, but it worked out, so we're not too mad about it. Okay, that's it. Enemy phase, there are no ready enemies. Upkeep brings Jenny a sneak by, which we are allowed to use. And it brings Leo a savant. 1 out of 5 doom. I'm terrified of what might happen next, but we just need 2 more clues. There's a clue on halls. There's other interview rooms. Meanwhile, the displaced mind, thrown back to the displacer's age and body, would be carefully guarded. It would be kept from harming the body it occupied and would be drained of all its knowledge by trained questioners. I'm getting like, I have no mouth and I must scream kind of vibes from this, although less about an AI and more about an alien species. 1 out of 5 Doom. Leo? Frozen in fear. Not much to be done about that, my friend. We could maybe savant that later. Might have to. And, oh god, Jenny. Oh my god. Okay, hang on. Each copy of Ythian Observer gains a Luth. That is not what Jenny drew. Jenny drew a Scholar from Yoth. Preys on the most cards in hand. That's me, but I drew it anyway. When it attacks you, discard 2 random cards from your hand. If Scholar from Yith is ready and engaged with you, I can parley. Test Intellect 3 to attempt to pass as a member of the creature's race. If you succeed, draw a card and evade it. If you fail, it attacks me. So I'm going to try to evade it first, and then maybe I'll attempt this intellect business later. Wait, why would I sneak by? I don't need money right now. I mean, I do. I really do because of Streetwise. So yeah, let's do it. I'm going to sneak by this. Jenny is going to sneak by this Scholar from Yith who's moving down the hallway. She's going to see if she can sort of duck into a side corridor, hold her breath, and then step out. So I'm at 2 to 2, but I'm going to spend 2 resources and go to 5. Oh! Tentacle. A rough start. However, I failed, so I'm going to grit my teeth. And I'm going to go to 3s. Second action. Do I want to try this parley? It's essentially a slightly more difficult evade, but I get to draw a card. Not useful, right? I think I go 3 to 2. Oh, I don't want to put one of my clues down. No, we evade. Yeah, we evade 6 to 2. Great, good. Yes, because these elder things are pretty bad. We don't want to lose any progress. And then Jenny is going to, I think, she's probably not going to run because I think we're going to have Leo get in there and just try to punch it to death. I think she is going to run, actually, because he's going to get the clue from here. So I'm going to head into this interview room, which is a 1 shroud, 2 clue location with victory 1. An unidentifiable ooze covers the large table near the center of the chamber. As she steps towards it, she thinks, the remains of a failed experiment, or... And then she sees a finger. Ooh! After you enter this location, test Will 3. Take a horror for each point you fail by. Well, this, I think, is probably it for Jenny. Absolutely heavy as hell. I do have 3 willpower, so it's possible to pass. And also, this is insane, but I have to do this. I must commit the Eon chart and double its skill icons to go to 5, because otherwise I will die. Huh. Well, that, my friends, is fate. It didn't want me to have the Eon chart, but I get to draw a card. Whee! A perception! Hell yeah. And I didn't take any horror. Good job, Jenny. All right. Mr. Bojangles. Mr. and Leo, body of JennYthian Anderson. We're going to move out to the halls, which costs me 2 actions. The first time you perform one of the following actions each round, it costs 1 additional action. I am of the opinion, I don't know if there ever was an actual ruling on this. I assume there was. Some people were like, oh, it's each time you do each of them, it costs an extra action each turn. But then it would say the first time you perform each of the following actions. That's how I feel. So, I have 1 action left. I can fight this evaded Scholar from Yith, 3 to 2, and I will, and I think I'm going to try to just kick its ass. I think I keep the wolf mask for later. We go 3 to 2. -1, a damage, but it is not defeated. Arrow. No ready enemies in upkeep. Oh, sorry. Before that happens, Frozen in Fear for Leo. Do we commit the Savant? The Savant says it gains wild icons equal to your lowest skill, other than the one being tested, so that would be my agility. So it would gain 3, it would have 3 wild icons, and then I would double the skill icons on that card. So I think we just I think we just take the test. I want... No, I'm going to need my... It feels so bad to use Savant on this. I think we use it, though. I think we just try to get as much traction as we can. God damn it. That's fine. +1. That's fine. It's fine. Here. Upkeep. Brings Jenny a followed. Which is sort of a following an enemy to get... And then you get 2 clues. And brings Leo a guts. Sure. Sure, Jen. 2 out of 5 Doom. We just need a couple of clues and then we can advance. So we're doing okay in that regard. Ah, an offer of power. You must either draw 2 cards and place 2 Doom on the current agenda, or take 2 horror. Well, so basically under no circumstances would you ever take the first option, because I don't feel like 2 cards is a worthwhile trade for 2 Doom, especially when the agenda could advance. I don't like taking 2 horror, but I'm going to take 1. I'm going to put 1 on Greta. I'm not happy about it. Rotting Remains. This is, again, very bad. Jenny is just 2 horror away from dying, and I can't commit anything this time. This could be the end of Jenny. So the goop on the table didn't scare her, but as she draws closer, she realizes she is, in fact, standing in a room, the floors of which have been made of this solidified goop. Oh, and of course I'm back down to 2s, because Grit Your Teeth only works for the remainder of the round. So I'm 2 to 3, and I need the Elder Sign. Just the 1 horror. We're still in it. Hey, can I get some of that? Can I get some of that soak? Or hey, you mind if I get some of that soak? Let's start with Leo, who needs to kick this guy's butt. I wouldn't mind actually doing the Intellect 3 test. Draw a card and evade it. But I would rather just punch it, right? I'm at 3 to 2, and I don't have any clues. So let's just go 3 to 2, and then we'll get... yeah, 3 to 2. It's a -2, but I don't have any clues to place on my location. So we go again 3 to 2. There we go. 1 more damage, which kills the Scholar from Yith. And I defeated an enemy, so I will deal a damage to Gret to discover a clue at my location rather than a connecting location. I imagine clues are going to be very useful. Leo... Oh, God. Leo should probably... I'd say move on. I want him in the same room as Jenny, so that Jenny can at least get some goddamn willpower icons. But if... Oh, but I can't go into the interview room, because otherwise I'm going to get absolutely slam-jammed by this willpower test, which I don't want. So, do we check the other interview room, or do we just keep moving? I think we check the next interview room, because Gret might be able to get me another clue. This is the arrival chamber. There were colossal round windows and high arched doors, and pedestals or tables as tall as the height of an ordinary room. Ooh, things are tall here. 2 shrouds, 0 clues. Lame. This is the arrival chamber. Reaction. After you begin your turn in this location, if there is a Ythian here, draw a card. Right. So if you don't resist capture, if you cooperate with the Ythians, there's a Ythian observer that starts here, but they're aloof. So when you start your turn, you would get to draw a card. So it'd be it's a nicer start, but then there's an enemy on the board later, which kind of sucks. Okay, so Leo is done. Over to Jenny. Jenny, we're at 2 to 1. I really want these clues, and I really don't want to burn a perception. But I think... No, I want to save the perception. We go 2 to 1. That's a clue. Fantastic. And I am absolutely tempting fate because of the Elder thing, so I need to go at least 1 up. So I'm going to pay $2 for Streetwise to go 5. Son of a... Okay, so -5. It's fine. We go again, 2 to 1, and I need to pay again, I think. Followed is going to be nice, but that's later. Skull, -1. That's fine. We get the last clue. It's another victory point, and we now have the clues we need to advance. But it's the... We're going to wait until next round. We go to upkeep, where JennYthian draws a scrying. Still doesn't have a willpower icon. And Leo draws a sled dog. Ruff, ruff. Unfortunately, I would have to play Leo and, Mitch Brown and then a couple of sled. That's probably not going to happen. That feels like a sexy commit. We go to 3 out of 5 Doom. Leo in the arrival room exploring. Jenny having cleared out information or clues from the ichor-filled chamber. After perhaps these creatures, after having gotten all of the knowledge they possibly can from a subject, they seem to liquefy their subjects for some reason. Ooh, Leo draws Ythian Presence. Put it into play in your threat area. If there's a Ythian enemy at your location, you cannot investigate it or trigger action abilities on encounter cards, including this card. Ugh. Choose and discard 2 cards from your hand to discard Ythian Presence. Well, that feels like something I'm probably going to do. But it doesn't hurt me, at least. Son of a bitch. We have... Jenny draws another scholar from Yth, who does a horror, so I cannot afford to fail. When it attacks, you discard 2 cards from hand. So it's a 2/2/2. However, I do have a perception. I can't afford to fail, though. So this is where it gets really tricky. Because, oh, sorry, but we're back around, so let's actually advance. I'm gonna spend all of my clues from Jenny, because she's the one who's been followed around by the scholars. You explore the area near your interview chamber for some time, learning more of the city and its dwellers. It is a place of knowledge and research inhabited by beings who call themselves the Great Race of Yth. For the most part, the Ythians allow you to explore the city without troubling you, though some of them follow you about and observe you with keen interest. As you pass through one of the city's meandering halls, you find a panel attached to a wall. It is a technological device you cannot hope to understand. As you stand in front of it, dumbfounded, one of your observers approaches cautiously. It extends a claw-like appendage and manipulates the panel in a convoluted manner. To your surprise, the wall in front of you slides open to reveal another series of halls. The creature steps aside to let you pass. If this happened to me today, I'd be like, oh, a sliding wall. You know, like, I'd be more like, the aliens. I'd be like trying to figure out how the machine works. 1920s? Yeesh. Put each set-aside location into play. Choose one of those locations at random. Put the set-aside the Custodian into play. At the randomly chosen location, Ythian observers are no longer aloof. So I'm going to do this. There's the locations, and there's the Custodian. I'm going to shuffle, and the one that ends up on top, I'm not looking, is the towers. That's where I'm going to put the Custodian. I don't remember where any of these places are. I actually don't remember where any of these go. Ha-ha! Oh, wow. Okay. Does this make sense? I think so. Yeah, the Laboratory of the Great Race is connected to this copy of Halls, the Orrery, and the Deconstruction Room, and then over here there's the Towers and the Great Library. If I recall correctly, there are tasks on all of these locations except the Towers, although the Custodian is a task in and of itself. The Custodian says, if you control the Custodian when the investigation phase begins, we draw cards. If it is not controlled by a player, parlay, test intellect 3. If you succeed, something about its mannerism seems familiar to you. Place one of your clues on it. Then if there are 2 clues, take control. So, we need another clue, and we need to pass an intellect test twice. You have to find a way back home. Surely if the Ythians can bring you to this place, there must be a way to return. If 3 of the following are true, you must advance. So, we have interviewed a subject. That's 1 out of 6. Found the process, dissected an organ, interviewed a subject, realized what year it is, activated the device, or control the Custodian. So, we have to advance if 3 are true. Spoilers, once we do, we then get a chance to do as many other tasks as we can before attempting to advance. The more, the better. We're not going to have time to do all of them. Jenny's already hanging on by a goddamn thread over there. Speaking of Jenny... Okay, so Leo, let's have a look at Leo here. So Leo could move into the chamber with Jenny. Jenny, he would then have to take a willpower test and hopefully not take too much horror. Then there'd be a Ythian enemy at his location. I wouldn't be able to investigate or trigger actions on encounter cards, but that's okay because I would move, engage. I don't really want to do that, though. I would move, and then I would be there to commit something to her, like this wolf mask. Oh, hang on, did I... Oh, no, I haven't advanced the agenda yet. Okay. Jenny, meanwhile, is sitting in a location with no clues, with only one resource, and I want to go 2 to 2, so really I want to go at least 2 up, probably more, so I could commit this followed to go 2 up. And if... The problem is, if Leo moves in, he has to both test, and he would have to test the willpower, and then also be stuck there with the enemy, which he could just punch. I think it's going to be better if we attempt to evade it. So, let's go... God. I think I have to risk it a little bit here. It's ready and engaged with me. I only have 2 intellect, but I'm going to be doing a big commit here. So I'm going to commit scrying for an intellect icon, and perception for 4 intellect icons, plus 5. Brings me to 7 to 3. Is that good enough? Not really. Ah, there's a -5 in the bag. Oh, what are the odds? What are the odds? They're not good, guys. So 3 up is actually good enough then in that case, right? Plus 4 brings me 3 up. So I don't need to commit the scrying. Because if I get attacked, then I'm dead. And then it's just down to Leo. We have to risk it, I think. So I go 3 up. 6 to 3. Because the alternative is just attempting to evade it a couple of times, right? So actually, you know what? Let's just attempt to evade it once, right? I'm evens. 2 to 2. It doesn't have alert or anything. I'm evens, and there's nothing that can happen that's that bad. So let's go ahead and invade it once. 2 to 2. Okay, -1. Too bad. Now we have to risk it a little bit for a biscuit. I'm going to go 3 up. Oh, thank God. Okay. I succeed. I draw a card. I also draw a card from the perception, and I evade the scholar, and then I'm going to move. So I draw 2 cards. 1, treasure hunter. 2, let me handle this. Jenny's like, actually, do you mind handling? Oh, I repeat, it has a willpower icon. Oh boy. Okay. Jenny is alive. This is unreal. We take a resource? I think we just keep moving. No, we take a resource. So that I have resources to, like, streetwise next turn. Resource. Okay, over to Leo. How bad is Ythian presence? Pretty bad, right? It's going to prevent me from doing tasks, because all of the tasks are going to be tests on locations. But if there's enemies at my location, I want to defeat them for the clues anyway. So I think... I'm going to really regret this, but I think we just move. I think we just go. 1, 2, let's head towards the custodian. This hall's is the same. 3 shroud, 1 clue. 3 shroud, 1 clues. That's 2 moves. A third action could be to investigate. I'd be evens. So I think instead we move into the towers. In certain places I beheld enormous dark cylindrical towers which climbed far above any of the other structures. 2 shroud, 4 clues. Victory 2. The great sandy desert beyond is no escape for you. If you leave, you will never repossess your body. Leo looks out over the sands and is just like, fuck. I can't leave this place yet. There's still work to be done. A curious creature, the custodian of the archives, watches him passively. Okay, so I've moved thrice. That's all I can do. Oh, there's an action on towers. Action, discard any number of cards from your hand. Shuffle your discard pile into your deck and draw cards equal to one more than the number of cards you discarded. Which is pretty sweet, because essentially this says action, draw a card, but also get your discard pile back. Yeah. Wait. Draw cards equal to one more than the number of cards you discarded. Yeah, so I could discard my whole hand and then draw 4, but I also get my entire discard pile back, which means I'm going to just start committing like a fiend. And then we're going to both get there and reuse this immediately. Because, yeah, specifically, I want Jenny to get her momentums back. I want the Fox Mask and the Eon chart back from when I can play items. Okay. No ready enemies. Upkeep readies the Scholar from Yith. It doesn't hunt. Yet. Upkeep brings Jenny a Think on Your Feet. Fantastic news, I would say. And it brings Mr. Leo an Elusive. Also, pretty nice. 4 out of 5 Doom. We have accomplished one task. And we're just a few clues away from hopefully doing some more. Let's see what we get from the encounter deck here. Ah! A 4/3/1 Scientist of Yith. It spawns at the Laboratory of the Great Race, which is up here. It's aloof. That's fine. Aha! If an investigator has activated the device or dissected an organ, it loses aloof and gains Hunter. It only has 1 agility, so even Leo now can just, like, hopefully evade it and start wailing on it. Although, I don't know. Followed would be pretty decent here, actually. Because it's aloof anyway. So I would be able to maybe get a couple of clues. Well, we'll see, we'll see. Jenny? A locked door. The location with the most clues. Well, that's definitely the towers. Womp womp. That's heavy. So this is a Victory 2 location. And the Custodian is test Intellect 3, place one of your clues on it. So we would need a clue. Okay. So let's think about this, right? Jenny could head over to the towers. We work on the locked door. We try to clear the towers of clues. Then we both use the ability, and we try to get the Custodian on side. That's a task. That's victory. That's 2 victory points. Or do we just try to rush? I think we might try to rush a little bit. What does Jenny have in hand? A treasure hunter. +1 intellect. For a whole turn? That's going to be really, really good. For, like, towers or whatever? So I could have Jenny move into towers and then play the treasure hunter, pay the resource so that next turn she'll be sitting on 3 intellect. It's so sad. It's just so sad. I have scrying to commit. Followed gets 2 clues if there's an enemy. So I could also have Jenny head up to the laboratory and then use followed for 2 clues, but she's still only at 2 intellect. I have a bunch of commits. I think that's the play here. So I go move up to this halls, which is also a 3 shroud 1 clue location. Move on to the laboratory of the Great Race. It had learned all things that were ever known or ever would be known on the earth, through the power of its keener minds to project themselves into the past and future, even through gulfs of millions of years, and study the lore of every age. 2 shroud, 2 clues, no victory points. If there are no clues on Laboratory of the Great Race, test Agility 3. Succeed. If you succeed, remember you activated the device, and if you fail, you have to put a clue back and slow your progress again. And then the Scientist of Yith is, if we have activated the device, it loses aloof and gains Hunter. So we get the clues, but we don't take the agility test yet. Last action, I think we go a little nuts here and we play Followed. Choose an enemy at your location. because it's a, like, yeah. So I don't get any bonus. So I'm at 2-2 currently, but hopefully I get 2 clues, basically. So I'm at 2-2, and I'm going to commit the scrying and double its icons to go 2 up. Yeah. An Elder Sign. Lovely. Wish that had some momentum. Draw a card. One of them fox masks. We get both clues. I have not done the task here yet. We've just got a couple of clues. NBD, NBD. Meanwhile, way back down at the towers, Leo is here. I guess I could what? I would have to break down the locked door and then just start sneaking away at these towers. If I break down the door, get a clue, and then put the clues on the custodian, they won't go back on the location. I could even test the custodian first, right? Does that make sense? I'm like only 1 up, though. Kind of sucks. This whole scenario sucks. As a reminder to folks, part of the reason that The Forgotten Age was considered so absolutely devastating when it came out is that it upended a lot of assumptions that people had about Arkham Horror, the card game. 3 campaigns had come out by that time, and this one upended a lot of expectations. Things like the supplies forced people to, like, it forced people, it made people think, like, well, I didn't know that going in, and so how was I to know? And it's sort of this emergent narrative. Well, what do you think you might need? Oh, well, you get punished for not knowing a thing. It feels bad unless you kind of buy into the narrative of it. Vengeance points really messed with some people because they're like, but I just want to, like, I've built this thing to kill enemies so that we can just get rid of them, get some victory points. Maybe you don't want to all of a sudden. And then this scenario, I think single-handedly, absolutely upended most people, like caused the most table flips probably. Not only do you not have access to your unique items, not only do you not have access to any items for the first agenda, which, again, items would include, like, weapons, masks, track shoes, key core things for most investigators. Not only that, but your stats are 2s and you have to commit your cards. The point being, just throw everything you have into all your tests. That's the point of the game now. This is how the Ythians work. But let me tell you from experience, some people do not like that way of playing Arkham. They want to build a board state and then just crack on from there. And that is not how this works. All right, we're back. Leo, rant over. Okay, I think we want to try to break down the door and then custodian it up. Yeah, let's try it. I'm at 3-4. 5 if I commit the sled dog and the wolf mask. Sorry, 6 if I commit the sled dog and the wolf mask. That's a pretty good place to be. It's not the best, but I'm going to do it anyway. A tentacle means that I fail. I don't lose a clue, but I am now essentially locked out of this location, probably for a while. So second action, I think we attempt to, oh god, converse with the library custodian? I don't really... I guess I'll commit the elusive, and then I'll be 1 up? Let's do it. An Elder Sign! Okay. So I pass. I draw a card. Strong-armed. Absolutely useless to me, because it only works on a melee or ranged asset, so that's a full-on commit right there. Probably next turn. And I place a clue on the custodian. And then I think, rather than just bashing my face against this locked door, because I want to be 2 up next turn, if I stay here, I could potentially kill an enemy, and then I'd be able to get a clue with Gret, but I'd rather get the clue from up here, so I'm going to move back up, and I'm closer to Jenny. And just this way I can leave it in the dust or whatever. Okay. So the Ythian presence is still haunting Leo. Leo, body of the Ythian Anderson. But we're alive. Jenny probably should have played down the treasure hunter for soak, but you live and you learn. Enemies? No hunters. The scientist, nothing's happened yet that would cause them to be scared. Upkeep brings Jenny a Lonnie Ritter. It's not going to work for soak, but her ability won't do much right now. But my goodness, would I appreciate some soak. Leo draws a hypochondria. I think I'm going to have to get rid of that next turn. 5 doom. Already. As you traverse these strange halls, you come across a chamber you hadn't noticed before. It is filled with trinkets and items of all kinds from various civilizations. Many of them match the descriptions that you have given to the city's inhabitants. Descriptions of the equipment you had on your person when you first encountered them. Have they somehow replicated the objects you had with you? You take what you can find and continue exploring. Sorry, it's getting a little loud. Each investigator searches the top 9 cards of their deck for up to 2 item assets and draws them. Shuffle the search deck. You are now able to put items into play. Item assets! Eon Chart, Elder Sign Amulet. No, those are the only 2 items. Yes. We definitely take them both. And Leo, any items? Fine clothes? Sorry, I will check to see if there's anything else. Oh my god. So, backpack would then search for more items, but I think I just take the best things I have here. The hammer and the fine clothes. Because, if I'm not mistaken, the custodian is a parley. Yeah. And the cyclopean hammer will actually help me defeat things. So, Leo! Okay. Okay. Wow, the agenda flip did something nice. Shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. If the custodian is in play and not controlled by an investigator, move it to the location with the most clues. Well, it's still there. Little by little, the memories of your former life are starting to fade. The most recent events are the first to disappear, but soon you begin to lose your grip on your human identity. Max hand size reduced by 2. Gross. So our max hand size is now 6, which means Jenny's got to play some cards with no money. That'll be fun. Although, I'm noticing Fox Mask might be very valuable. Yep. Just draw some encounter cards. God damn it. Oh, okay. Keeper of the Great Library spawns at the Great Library, which is not where Leo is. Alert aloof. If an investigator has found the process or realized what year it is, it's similar to the scientist. Jenny draws another Keeper of the Great Library. A ruh-roh. So Leo can hear clicking and clacking just to the west. So presumably found the process is in the Great Library, and I think you realize what year it is in the Ythian Orrery. Okay, back around. We're on to Agenda 2. We're not dead, so I'm not, like, mad. I really want Jenny to play some soak, because I need to survive. Is it better to take a resource and drop the Elder Sign Amulet and the Fox Mask? Or is it better to take 2 resources and drop Lonnie Ritter? Lonnie Ritter gives me a stat. No. I have answered my own question. Fox Mask is going to be too good over the course of this scenario. And I know it's a little insane to, like, play out so much stuff so late in the scenario, but, like, I need to survive. So Jenny is still in the laboratory. If I do the agility test, activate the device, the scientist will lose a Luth, but then I can probably evade it somewhat easily. And then kind of keep going from there. I wish I had pickpocketing, but it is what it is. Okay. Eon Chart. I can't be bothered to play Eon Chart yet. That feels like a good commit. Leo! Double action, discard hypochondria. It's gotta be. And then we drop the hammer so that we can get a fightin'. And then... Okay, Cyclopean Hammer is a lot less good when you have all your stats at 2. Again, please remind me to tell someone I'm supposed to play... I was like, oh, the scenario's like Oh, it actually doesn't steal... Like, Cyclopean Hammer's not unique, so it won't steal your Cyclopean Hammer. Yeah, but you can't play it all first agenda, and it actually just generally sucks. It's not bad. It's not bad. I'll have enough to play Fine Clothes next turn. Okay. Enemy phase. No hunters yet. There will be soon. Upkeep brings Jenny a Lucky Cigarette Case level 3. Unbelievable. Probably a really sick commit. And brings Leo a Tetsuo Mori. Also probably a really slick commit. We go to 1 out of 7 Doom. Our hand sizes are 6, but that's okay. Leo is trying to get a bit more in, like, trying to figure out how to communicate with the custodian so he can bring it around with him. Another offer of power. Well, I'm not placing 2 Doom on the agenda, at least not now. I don't mind drawing cards, but I think we're just going to take 2 horrors straight on our face. Oof. Jenny? Captive Mind. It was not a kidnapping, but an exchange. Test willpower 0. Oh, gross. Regardless of whether the skill test succeeds or fails, choose and discard all but X cards from your hand. X is your modified skill value. So, if I do not pass this test well, I'm going to have to discard my whole hand, which is a disaster. So I'm going to commit Lucky Cigarette Case, but I'm not going to double its skill icons. I'm going to go to 4 to 0. Nice. A pass. My modified skill value is 4, so I still have to discard a card from hand. Which I think is going to be Miss Lonnie Ritter. Sorry, Lonnie. Okay, background. We're still safe, kind of? So I'm thinking, here's the deal. Leo, get a clue, move, parley with the custodian. I don't have my fine clothes. Play the fine clothes. I want to get rid of JennYthian presence too, but I don't need to yet. Let's investigate. I'm going to commit Tetsuo to be 2 up, basically. 5 to 3. Perfect. I keep thinking that Elder Thing's going to be like minus -1,000,000 for some reason. I don't know why. Last action, we move down again to the towers where the custodian is. This is I think having the custodian is going to be a really strong, and then we meet back up and it just gives us a bunch of draw. We're also at a point where I think Leo probably wants to use the ability on the towers, but I'm going to just commit as much as I can first. Okay, and now back to Jenny, who has a little bit of breathing room. Not a lot. Let's see. Okay. The scientist from Myth does damage, which I actually have a little bit of breathing room for. How much to read Bush in this? So if I action, test agility 3, activate the device, that's one of the tasks, and then the scientist from Yith, I would have to evade. But it's only 1 evasion, so it's not crazy, and I have a fox mask. And I would move out, and I'd get my fox mask charge back. But I could also try to, quote, dissect an organ, which is probably in the deconstruction room. That feels like an intellect test, right? We should explore before we start committing to this thing, because I want Leo in here, because Leo can actually do 3 damage at a time. So I'm going to move up to the deconstruction room with Jenny, and hopefully it doesn't kill me. They were only partially material, as we understand matter, and their type of consciousness and media of perception differed wholly from those of terrestrial organisms. Got a little eye twitch. Apologies. 3 Shroud, 2 clues. Victory 1. Test combat 4. To attempt to retrieve a valuable organ from one of the alien cadavers, it gets +1 difficulty for each clue on the deconstruction room. If you succeed, remember you dissected an organ. Well, that's, you know. But I do think we could attempt to get a clue from here. Oh, God. Ah, my eye. Yeah, I think we try for the clues here. I have clues is the problem. I don't want to just drop them. Okay. What's the game plan? I have to do these tests. This is a combat test. This is going to be a nightmare. But maybe Leo will still have 3 combat. I need to get the clues off here for a victory point and to make this difficulty less. Or I move back and through, and then I head to the Ythian Orrery. So I could investigate. No, I could... Yeah, I could investigate with a token, and then move down, and then move out next turn. I would be only 1 up. Which we're not loving, to be honest. Yeah, we use the Fox Mask. So we're at 4-3. And I will commit the Treasure Hunter to go to 6. A +1. A massive win for no reason. We get a clue. And then, last action, I think... should I just stay here and try to get this clue? I could... No. Yeah, no, I move out. I move out to the Laboratory of the Great Race because I want to see what's in Ythian Orrery. Again, I'm kind of hoping that Leo will be able to secure the Custodian and make his way up here, and we can just clear this top location. Okay, hopefully. No hunters. Upkeep brings Jenny a light-footed. Potentially very nice. And a vicious blow for Leo. That's going to be very important later. 2 out of 7 Doom. Neither of them have more than 6 cards in hand. So we go ahead and draw encounter cards. Here we go. Here we are, the Ythian Observers. 4/4/3. Preys on me for now. When it attacks you, discard a card at random from your hand. If you cannot, it deals extra damage and horror because it preys on your mind and your knowledge. Now, there is a Ythian at my location, so I can't investigate, which is fine because locked door says I can't anyway. And I cannot trigger actions on encounter cards, like, say, the Custodian. That's okay. I'm going to try to kill this Ythian Observer. It also doesn't hunt. Yet. I'm going to just say yet, because I presume it will. Ooh. Ooh. All memories that could be eradicated were eradicated, so that in most cases only a dream-shadowed blank stretched back to the time of the first exchange. So Jenny has a test will 5. For each point you fail by, remove the top card of your deck from the game. If there are fewer than 10 total cards in your hand, deck, and discard pile, you are driven insane. So that's not going to happen, but knowing this is here is important for us to know. I am going to commit to this test so that I don't have to remove. Although, if I'm not mistaken, she does have 2 weaknesses still in the deck. So maybe I'm going to commit this let me handle this. And I'm not going to double its icons. So I'm going to go to 3. Okay, so I failed by 4. It's a classic Scott quote, by the way. Okay, I'm going to go to 3 against 5. Okay, so I failed by 4. Remove the top card of your deck from the game. Let's see what we have. I'll take that. Weakness. Lockpicks. Manual Dexterity. And Trenchcoat. Shit. That's bad. Now, there are not fewer than 10 total in my everythings. I haven't lost that much of my humanity. That's really bad. Those would have all been... Legitimately, lockpicks and Trenchcoat would have been incredible. Tis what it is. Let's start with Jenny. I'm going to move. And I moved to the Ythian Orrery, so I get a Fox Mask charge back because I moved out of a location with an enemy. I seemed to talk in some odd language of claw clicking, with exiled intellects from every corner of the solar system. There was a mind from the planet we know as Venus, which would live incalculable epochs to come, and one from an outer moon of Jupiter, 6 million years in the past. Increase your max hand size by 2 while you're here. Force Shroud, 2 clues, victory 1. Double action, if there are no clues on Ythian Orrery, remember you realize what year it is, which will cause the keepers to become hunters. Not hunters of you, just hunters, which is bad. It's a 4-shroud location, which means I have to... Passing that combat test is going to be an issue, but I feel like this at least is a... I can try this, you know? Let's go 4 to 4. Am I really going to commit this Eon Chart? Maybe, because maybe I'm going to use the towers, man. I don't know. Let's go. So I'm at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, because I'm doubling the icons on it. An Elder Sign. Unreal. So I succeed by a lot, and I draw a card. It's a watch this. Not useful right now, but we'll take it soon. We get a clue from the Ythian Orrery. And we have 1 action left. Now, again, I'm not feeling... I'm really hoping Leo... No, Leo has his own shit to deal with. If I go back to the Laboratory of the Great Race, I could once again get another Foxmask charge. Especially by, like, evading and stuff. And watch this will actually be very helpful for that. So I move... I'm wasting so much time moving. But I'm going to move back to the Laboratory of the Great Race with Jenny. And we go over to Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Ythian Observer. Hold up. It's got... Okay, the Ythian Observer has 4 health. Cyclopean Hammer. Fight, add your will to your skill value. So, that's a 5. You deal +1 damage. If you succeed by 3 or more... Well, whatever. It deals +1 damage. Strong-Armed and Vicious Blow both add a combat. I can double one of them. Yes. I can double one of them to give me another icon. Okay, so hang on. 3 + 2 willpower. 5, 6 with Vicious Blow. 7, 8 with Strong-Armed. And it will deal +1 damage twice, 4 damage total. And I can take a damage to redraw, which I think is what I'm about to do. So we go 8. What did I just say? 8? 3, 5 with willpower, 6 with Vicious Blow, 8 with Strong-Armed because I'm doubling it, 8 to 4. It's good. It's good. No need to redraw. We deal 4 damage with an absolutely sickening thud. The body of the body that Leo Anderson's mind now inhabits swings the hammer with far more strength than he could have ever imagined, cracking the beast in the side of the head and sending it flying off into the desert. It's a victory point, and we defeated an enemy, so I'm going to go ahead and put a damage on Gret to discover a clue here, which I'm allowed to do even because of the locked door. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Oh my gosh, am I okay with that. Now, we have to action, parlay, test intellect 3, place a clue. Great. So I have 3 intellect, so it's 3 to 3, but the flying clothes still work. It's a parlay, so we go 3 to 1. It's -2. We do it. I put a clue on it. And then I take control of the Custodian. Fantastico. I'm actually quite pleased about this. This is good. So this is another one of the tasks, I guess. And then I am going to move up. And then I don't have enough cards. There's a free trigger on Halls that if I discard a card, I can move to another copy of Halls. So I can get closer to Jenny, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to wait. Custodian will draw me a card, and then hopefully I'll get to Jenny's location, and we'll just clear that corner of the map. Feels good, guys. We're, like, doing well enough that I'm nervous. Enemy phase, still no hunters, because we haven't done anything to piss off the Ythians yet. Upkeep brings Jenny an intel report. I forgot that existed. That's really useful. And it brings Leo an untimely transaction, which I believe will be 2 wild icons. All right, we go to 3 out of 7 doom. Leo's going to be moving up very shortly to try to assist with other tasks, but first we got to see what the world holds. Locked door goes on either the Ythian Orrery or the deconstruction room. They both have one... I think we put it on the deconstruction room because the deconstruction room, while it's easier to get the clue, I can still do the task. It just has more difficulty. So I put the locked door up there in the deconstruction room. And Jenny draws a offer of power. Well, that's terrible. I'm not placing 2 doom. So I'm going to go ahead and take 2 horror, and I'm going to put them both on the other side. Amuleta. Music is still here, just very low. Okay. We're back around. We're alive. This is incredible. The investigation phase begins. So Leo gets to draw a card. Grievous wound. Okay. We have to decide here. We've done 2 tasks, basically. I'm going to put a horror on the custodian to remind myself. We've done 2 tasks out of 6. For sure there's a task on the Great Library. Oh, I should have used the towers action. It's fine. It's fine. There's a task at the library. Well, I know there's tasks here at the lab, the deconstruction room, and the Ythian orrery. So if we do one of them, then we'll advance the act, and then we can try to do a couple others before we run out of time. So, we have Leo move to the lab, and now he cannot investigate or trigger actions on encounter cards. And this thing is still aloof. So in fact, do I still have music left? Am I out of musica? Not quite. Yeah, I think we're good, actually. Sorry, woof. Okay. Do I have Jenny go first, hopefully pass the lab test, then evade, and then move? That's one option for Jenny. Oh my god, intel report. Oh my god, intel report. Intel report's so good. Intel report can buy a clue off of deconstruction room. Absolutely wild. Okay. I think that's the play. Then it's evaded for Leo to come in and just smash with a hammer. Smash it with a hammer! So I think we take the agility test. And then we hope it does damage, so I won't die to it. Famous last words. Okay, so this is an agility 3 test. I'm trying to manipulate the controls on the technological device nearby. Jenny's been observing this scientist doing stuff, and she's like, look, I don't really know much about science, but this looks like a device that can get me home. I'm going to test agility 3, and I'm going to go pretty hard into this one. 4 to 3, 6 to 3 with watch this, 7 to 3 with light-footed, and there's a -5 in the bag. So I could keep the light-footed. 6 with the Foxmax. Sorry, 4 with the Foxmax, 6 with the watch this. Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. Okay. I was 2 up. I succeeded by 1 or more, so I gained 6 resources. I paid 3. I paid everything into it. I probably should have gone 5 up, but that's okay. We get the money. We activate the device, which means the scientist from Yth whirls around and starts clicking its claws menacingly as it advances. She hears a voice in her mind. What do you think you're doing here? And we're going to try to evade this creature. I have 2 evasion, 2 to 1. I'd rather not lose clues, but now it doesn't matter if I lose clues, right? At least not here. Sorry. Clues are actually useful for the end of the scenario. So I'd rather not, but light-footed is going to be very useful. So I think I just try 1 2 to 1. I was afraid of that. And then I try another? Do I commit to this? I feel like light-footed is going to be so strong when another enemy spawns here. So I'm going to play Think on Your Feet. Or I'm going to commit Think on Your Feet for 1 icon 3 to 1. Perfect. We evade the scientist from Yth as she ducks behind some machinery. Erlenmeyer flasks crashing to the ground around her. Leo's going to go 1, 2, and he slithers into the scientist's lab, wielding this massive hammer again. And actually, this is good, because now next turn we get to draw cards with the Custodian. And I am going to try to bash this thing in the head. Let's talk. The Cyclopean Hammer fights at a 5. Fights at a 5. This thing has 3 health, so I could stick a Grievous Wound on it, which I think might be good. And actually, we also... just gonna also get the next next music track ready. So I'm at 5 to, what did I just say? 5 to 4. But it's evaded, right? So if I don't kill it, it's not gonna be the end of the world. And then Grievous Wound is after I successfully attack it, right? So... and do I commit Untimely Transaction? I do commit Untimely Transaction to go to 7. Okay, too bad. So it's I'm 2 up as opposed to 3, which is too bad. So I deal 2 damage, and I can move this thing a couple locations away, but I'm gonna fast play Grievous Wound, which will kill it at the end of the round. So I will move it. Oh, actually, do I need to? No, it's fine, yeah. Whoa, that's loud. Sorry, guys. Okay. Yeah, I think we do this. Okay. Enemy phase. No ready enemies. Upkeep phase brings us Jenny, manual dexterity. Leo, a bot in blood. You must either discard an ally you control from play or discard each ally in your hand. That sucks. We lose Gret, which means we lose our stats, or our stats go down. That sucks. It is what it is. And I'm not losing the Custodian, which is an ally asset I control. I'm not discarding that. At the end of the round, Grievous Wound deals a damage to the Scientist, which kills it, because it only has 3 health. That was my upkeep phase, so Mythos goes 4 out of 7 Doom. We're still not too advanced yet. I've done 3 tasks. Oh, shoot, I should have advanced ages ago. Sorry, I should have advanced ages ago. My apologies. I'm going to advance now. You believe you have discovered the process used by the Ythians to transport you here, but the truth is hard to accept. Your body was never brought to this place. Your mind has been transferred into the body of one of these creatures. Somewhere in another place, in another time, one of the reviled creatures dwells in your body. You no longer have to perform any of the following tasks. However, the more you have performed by the time the scenario ends, the easier the transition to your human body will be. And the less likely the process is to fail or backfire. Be careful, which is interesting, because that's the game's way of being like, Act 3A, Repossession. So I've done 3 of the tasks. There are 3 more to do. Dissect an organ, which is that combat test on the deconstruction room. Realize what year it is, which is 1 clue and 2 actions away, and probably something in the Great Library, which is probably an intellect test. You have gathered the knowledge necessary to repossess your body, but before you can initiate the process, you must expand your mind. Ythian observers gain Hunter. Action, spend a clue, draw. Draw 2 cards instead of 1. If your hand exceeds your maximum hand size, draw an additional card. Objective. If each surviving investigator has 10 or more cards in their hand, immediately advance. Beware. Remember to complete as many of the tasks listed on Act 2B as you can. I now have enough clues. Oh, I don't. Sorry. Leo Ythian only has 1 clue. So he's going to need some more clues in order to advance. Or draw a bunch of cards. Because you need 10 or more cards in hand during each of your turns so that you can advance before upkeep forces you to discard a bunch of them. Which is a little rough. That's okay. Oh, damn. Fox Mask. I forgot about that. Oh, well. I will have to draw more enemies, I guess. Shouldn't have said that. Should not have said that. Okay. Mythos phase. Did I just... I put a Doom down. Yes. I'm sure I did. Okay. I advanced, so I know that we have actions to do. We have to expand our mind. But I would love to get at least 1 or 2 more things done. Probably the Ythian Orrery. That's a victory point as well. And then the deconstruction room would be great. Maybe I'll buy the clue there. Who knows? But first, we got some bad stuff. Cruel interrogations. We have interviewed a subject, so I have to take a horror. Ooh. Leo Ythanderson takes a horror, and this gains surge. You cannot take draw actions. Does that count as draw? Yes, it does. All right, well, okay, I have to pass that willpower test now. It gains surge. Frozen in fear. Great, just absolutely slaughtered by stuff. As Leo realizes the implications of the fact that the Ythians stole their bodies and that they are now in Ythian bodies, the implications of what they did to the subject in the interview room is starting to dawn on him, and he freezes up. And our good friend Jenny here is going to draw a Captive Mind. Not much to do about this. I would love to pass this test. I'm at 2 to 3. Because if the modified skill value is the cards that you get to keep. But I'm not committing guts to this test because I need to get rid of Cruel Interrogations myself. Okay. And that'll be on the turn that we're ready to start getting this shit done, I think. So we go 2 to 3. Okay. So my value is 1, so I get to keep 1 of these cards. And I guess we're keeping Intel Report. Captive Minds indeed. Okay. We go back. What's the game plan? Ythian Orrery, buy the clue. Someone goes in and double actions the Ythian Orrery to realize what year it is. Then we have 2 4-health enemies that will gain Hunter. The alternative, move up to Deconstruction Room, test Combat 5, because there's a clue on this location. I could break the locked door and then investigate, or I could just buy this clue with Intel Report, and then it's a Combat 4 test, which I also feel like Leo's not really in a place to succeed. However, the investigation phase begins. So we each get to draw a card. That actually changes things drastically because Mob Enforcer is now here. And now I've run out of music, so we go to this one. Okay. That's actually kind of big. Evidence, on the other hand, is really going to be really nice for a cheeky investigation. Jenny does have the resources to parlay the Mob Enforcer. Do we just get rid of it that way? Because, Leo here would engage and then fight, and I'd be fighting at 5 to 4. It's not great. Yeah, so we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4 resources and parlay and discard the Mob Enforcer, who obviously, I shouldn't say obviously. I like to think the mob sent someone to follow them down into the depths, and they also got captured, and they're also here, and they're also like, give me the money. You must die. If I had evaded it, it would have been good. That's okay. And then Jenny's going to move up to the deconstruction room, and I'm going to pay $2 to play Intel Report and discover a clue at this location. Now I have a bunch of clues, which means, in theory, a turn could be spent going draw, 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 potentially 2, 4, maybe even 7 cards. Like, we might be able to draw enough. We'll see. That's that. Jenny's still in a lot of trouble, but we've gotten the clue, so we've got another VP. Leo! I really need to get rid of Cruel Interrogations. Do we move twice? So I could double action move to the deconstruction room, which will allow me to... Whoops, sorry. The deconstruction room will allow me to take this Combat 4 test, which, like, I don't know how I'm going to pass that. Maybe we just draw cards until we have enough cards to commit. And then we try to pass the Cruel Interrogations. Yeah, there you go. Double action because of Frozen in Fear. I'm going to move in to the deconstruction room where things are being deconstructed. We're trying to retrieve organs from the alien cadavers. Delicious. And then, last action, I am going to try to clear Cruel Interrogations. Guts gives me 4 willpower icons, so we go 6 to 2. A big success. It draws me a card. Money. I don't need money. Done. At the end of my turn, I have to test Frozen in Fear, which I could commit to, but I'm 1 down right now, and I just don't think that being on 0 is going to be that helpful. Spoke too soon. That's obviously a 0. So we keep Frozen in Fear. But we're in the same room again. No hunters, because the Keeper of the Great Library don't think that we're an intellectual threat. So we go upkeep. Fuck. This is huge for Jenny. Searching for Izzy. The location farthest from me. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I could put it anywhere. If I put it down... No, I can't put it at the towers because I can't investigate the towers. I could put it here at this 1 shroud location. I think I put it down here in the interview room, which has 2 shroud. I'm not going to put it in the goddamn Scholar from Yith room. Oh my god. Okay, well, Jenny, we're just going to have to see. 5 out of 7 Doom. Okay, Leo draws the Rotting Remains. Very bad news, but we have to try it. This, do I commit to this? I think we do. I go 4 to 3. Okay, success. Nothing happens. Jenny draws a Crypt Chill. Absolute nightmare, but my Fox Mask is empty. We go 2 to 4. Skull. I discard an asset I control. It's going to be the Fox Mask. Pow. We're back around. We could just, potentially, attempt to pass this combat test. I don't know how. Jenny could draw cards. Jenny could spend clues to draw cards, actually, because currently my maximum hand size is 6, so I could draw 5 cards this turn, and then she might... Oh, and then I'd be out of cards. And then I take a horror, which is okay, because I still have the Elder Sign Amulet. It's not okay, but it's something. Jenny could also start running towards the searching for Izzy. Because here's the thing. If I can pass this deconstruction room, if I can get this done, that's 4 tasks out of 6. The orrery's not that crazy to do, but then we've got hunters on our butts, which is also a little scary. And it's the drawing cards that's going to be the issue, I think, especially for someone like Leo here. He only has the 1 clue. He could potentially... Oh, Gret's dead, so never mind. Oh, okay, right, sorry. The investigation phase begins. We each draw a card because of the custodian. Holy shit, Thermos. I don't have the money. Nor do I want... You know what? I don't want the money. You know what? Sled Dog is a combat icon. Okay, here we go. Jenny. I'm going to spend 2 actions. Sorry, I'm going to spend 1 action and a clue to draw 2 cards. End of the Road and Hard Knocks. Fantastic. I'm not going to try to exceed my max. I'm going to do it again. Draw 2. Fantastic. Okay, these are all great cards, and I'm going to hold on to them. Last action, do I draw and take a horror? Or do I get a resource? No, my max hand size is currently 6. So, in fact, I don't draw. I take a resource? Commit cards? Insanity. No, I'm going to commit cards to this combat test to try to pass it, right? Yeah, that's the point. I'm not on the final agenda, so I can't use End of the Road. And actually, I should play End of the Road because, well, it's good to keep it in hand. I think I just take a resource so that I can maybe use Streetwise later. Maybe. We go over to Leo. Leo! Body of JennYthian and Anderson. Okay. Leo. Oh. Why do I have no actions? Did I not upkeep? Shoot. Oh, man. I wish I could stop the recording and check and then stitch them together, but I'm not going to. Let's think about this. Last turn, I drew Hot Streak. These are flipped over. But I didn't take any actions because there was no enemies in here. What did I draw during the encounter phase? Rotting Remains. I committed the Hot Streak to the Rotting Remains. I already had the Frozen in Fear because it cost me two actions to come in, and then I spent an action to clear the other thing that I had, and that drew me the Hot Streak, which I then committed. Yeah. So I did. Good lord. So I did not upkeep, so I'm going to upkeep now. Okay. No combat icons. I think we draw. That's about as good as it's going to get, I think. No, we can draw again. Do I have any other weaknesses? No. Great. Last action. Guys, here it is. It's the biggin. Test Combat 4. All right. Come to Papa. I got 2. I got 2. We got 9. All right. Commit the... Hang on. How far up do I want to be? 3 up, right? If I can go to 7. Jenny is going to commit this Hard Knocks to bring you up to 4. So I'm evens. 2 more would be good. So that's an easy backpack commit. Doubled. I'm now 2 up. However, I would like to pass this. I can't go 5 up. But I can go 1 more to go 3 up. Thank goodness. Okay. Pass. Horror goes on the deconstruction room to remind us we have dissected an organ. Okay. 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 Enemy phase. No hunter enemies. Upkeep. Jenny has to take a horror because she's reshuffling her deck. We go to 3 horror, but on the Elder Sign Amulet. It's getting pretty dicey. Oh, and sorry, of course, at the end of his turn, Leo has to test Frozen in Fear, which I will do. -5, okay. Upkeep brings him a Daring. Unfortunately, there's only very specific places where I can commit it, so we might be at that time. We go to 6 out of 7 Doom. Yucky ducky. Cruel Interrogations. Well, shit. Oh, I have to take a horror. Ooh! I put it on the Fine Clothes. And it gains Surge. God damn. Dissonant Voices. No assets, no events. Well, Leo, you're just hanging around, man. That's what it is. Jenny? Ooh, a scholar from Yeath. Well, not great, but it's not the worst. Okay, we're back around. Let's talk options. Options here. Whoops. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. The music is so scary now. Okay. We're entering the end game here, guys. I really want Jenny to go move, double action interview room. That's 2 whole rounds. Unless I move, free trigger, move. That's still basically 2 whole rounds. I saved 1 action. It's not great. We keep as many cards in hand as possible for now so that we can just hit the thing at the end of the day. Hit the thing. What am I trying to say? Repossession. I have done 4 of the tasks. Realizing what year it is doable. I need to get in there, pass an intellect 4 test. He laughs. Okay, all right. Leo Anderson. Engage the Scholar. Fight the Scholar. It's going to cost me 2 actions to do that. I'll be up 5-2. I think that's the best play. Because I really don't want to fight and... Oh, actually, Jenny can take the hit, so I think I do that. I think I go double action. Oh, sorry, the investigation phase begins. The Custodian draws us each a card. Lovely. Now, that does mean we're going to have to discard some stuff pretty soon, eh, old Jenny-Roo? Hang on, this might change things. Pickpocketing I can play. I could evade. No, I think we keep the action. First action, fight with the Cyclopean Hammer. I'm going... Oh, no. I'm now 4-2. I'm 4-2, and I really don't want to commit cards anymore. Oh, God. Casino the Crime will snag me the last clue on Ythian Orrery, but, like, only if I get there. And... Okay, no, so in fact I could just move, and then attempt the investigation, or attempt to get rid of Cruel Interrogations. Or no, I could just move, because Frozen in Fear. And then Jenny could just try to evade this thing. Yeah, that's better. Let's do it. So double action, move to the Ythian Orrery. Oh, okay, hang on. If I do the Ythian Orrery thing, then the Keepers are coming after us, and I think we're giving up the idea of searching for his name. Jenny Barnes is gonna have 6 mental trauma. What a nightmare. And yet, there it is. All right, it's the end of my turn. I would like to try to get rid of Frozen in Fear. Can I commit to Frozen in Fear? Oh, it's a willpower. Ah. No. Oh, we pass anyway. Hooray! Okay, great job. Fantastic. All right, and here we are. Ah, I could slip away. I think I will. It's a 2-cost event, but this is the 2 XP version. So I'm evading at 4-2, but I'll commit this manual dexterity. I know it's crazy, but like it'll redraw me the card. Do I need the money? I could also commit watch this, but I don't need the money. Let's just do it. 6. I'll double the icons on manual dexterity to go to 8. Fantastic. So, manual dexterity draws me a card. The Scholar from Yith will not evade, or will not upkeep, ready next upkeep phase, but that's okay. Manual dexterity draws me a card, and Slip Away will return to my hand at the end of my turn. Double action. Move. Twice. Double action. 2 actions to move to the Ythian Orrery. Got it. It's the end of my turn. I get Slip Away back. Ah, it means I'm going to lose a card. So I go fast because I only have 6. Oh, no, but we're in the Orrery, where my max hand size is 8 again. My man. Okay. Enemy phase. No ready enemies. Upkeep. The Scholar from Yith does not ready. Jenny Barnes upkeeps into a Scrying. 7 cards in hand. We discard Dissonant Voices, and we upkeep over here into a Guard Dog. Have I Ythian Presenced? I don't think so. You cannot investigate or trigger action abilities on encounter cards, including this one. I don't think so. I guess potentially I Cruel Interrogations, but I don't think there was an enemy at my location when I did that. So I think we're good. Mythos. 7 Doom. This is bad. Here we go. Shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. The Custodian is in play, but it is controlled by an investigator. Check your supplies. If an investigator has a pendant. Ah, yes. That classic pendant. It draws you cards, and then it prevents you from reducing your max hand size, which means you can more easily win, but... Agenda 3A. How long has it been? Days? Weeks? Years? Investigator's max hand size reduced by 4, but it's okay. I'm really hoping that we can just get out of here. Although, let's see what happens here. Captive Mind. This is bad. Test will 0, and I don't want to ditch a bunch of cards, so I think we commit the Savant to this. I think we commit the Savant. Yeah. Yeah, it, hang on, I actually have to check how many, it had 3 icons, so I was at 5. No, I doubled them, sorry. So, it was +6. Yeah, okay. So I'm 6 is fine. Jenny? A scientist. It spawns next to us, and it's got a hunter. So let's talk. Let's talk. The investigation phase begins, so we each draw a card. Because of the custodian. Fantastico. I would love to get this clue and then double action, realize what year it is. Jenny could then potentially move into the laboratory, evade, and then move back. Keeping it at bay. Potentially slipping away or whatever, I don't know. Oh my god, isn't this crazy? It's crazy. I think that's the play. Because I can't draw cards with Leo until I pass this test. But I still think this is the right... Because I could also move in and just Cyclopean Hammer and kill this thing, which is probably a better idea. Yeah, and then I'll leave the other thing for... Did I pay my 2 resources? Shoot. I can't remember, so I will pay it again. I would discover a clue as my first action. And then... Hold on to your butts, everybody. Mr. Conical Body with his weird claw appendages just swinging this hammer around. I'm going to fight 4 to 4, but I'm going to commit daring, which is only a +3 now. But I still think that's okay. Yeah. Shouldn't... Oh, no, it's okay. It's a +3. What did I said +3. I said +3. So I deal +1 damage. And I may move it 1 location away from me, which is a little crappy, actually, because it's still going to hunt back onto me. Because I did not succeed by 3 or more. It's too bad. I didn't have any extra damage. So I'll move it a location away. Damn. But I get to draw a card from Daring. Okay. Oh, no. Oh, I'm not in the orrery anymore. Silly. Leo might be in trouble. It's okay. Meanwhile, Jenny's going to go double action, realize what year it is. Oh my god, it's actually the year, I don't know, 10,000 or whatever. And then... Take an extra action? Doesn't really do anything for me. Play a card so as to... Hang on. My max hand size is reduced only by 2 because I'm in the orrery, so I still have a max hand size of 6. And I can't leave without Leo. So... I play Under the Road. That doesn't help me with my... Because I can't even, like, move or whatever, right? I could take the hit from the body of a Ythian. The trouble is discarding down. Although, I guess... Jenny won't be too beat up about that. I play Pickpocketing? Fast? And then play... I don't know, Scrying or something? Then I won't have to discard quite as many cards, but it's still essentially the same thing. Oh, no, hang on. Sorry, I wanted to move. I wanted to move so I was in the same location as Leo. Although, does that make sense? Because now I'm going to have to discard cards from my hand. Yeah, he can take the hit. I'm going to stay back here, and I'm going to play... Yes, I am going to play Scrying, actually. Great. We'll see, I guess. Okay. Enemy phase. We have some hunters. The keepers of the Great Library finally realize that there is mischief afoot. Those new captives from Earth. So they start hunting towards us. And the Scientist of Yith is not dead, so he hunts back into the lab, scraping himself off the floor, and punches Leo for 2 damage. Oof. Upkeep. Followed for Jenny. And a Mitch Brown. However, our max hand size is reduced by 4. So Jenny's is 6 and Leo's is 4. So Leo needs to discard some stuff. What am I discarding here? Evidence and guard dog, because sled dog's been nice to me. And Jenny needs to discard 1 card, which is going to be, sorry Thermos, you've done a great service for me. Service Thermos. 1 out of 7 doom. But we've done 5 out of 6 tasks. Captive Mind. Disaster City. All right, we're at 2-0. I'm going to commit Mitch Brown and double the icons. And we're I'm going to commit Mitch Brown and double the icons. So we're at 4. Sorry. Oh, yeah. Sorry, way too much. Okay, great. Yeah, we draw a card. Oh, I'm out of here. Well, not today, Leo. And Jenny draws a Yithian Presence as well. Okay. Let's talk. We've got a Searching for Izzy all the way down there. Sorry, Jenny. Objective. If each surviving investigator has 10 or more cards in their hand, advance. Leo could fight, draw, spend a... Where did he get these clues? Oh, sorry. The investigation phase begins. I draw a card. Oh god, I have to take a horror, but I'm still alive. I could spend 2 clues and draw. So I would have to kill this thing. Oh my god. I'd have to kill this thing. I could avoid one of the attacks of opportunity, and then I could do the other. Okay. Okay, I think it's happening. Oh no, I can't take draw actions! Oh, that's bad, actually. Okay. So I have to get rid of Cruel Interrogations. I have to kill the Scientist of Yith. Jenny has to take care of Cruel Interrogations for me. Somehow. Let's see here. Let me think about this for a second. Jenny could... She's got clues to spend. So I could move into the laboratory, take care of Cruel Interrogations, hopefully, and then I could take 2 actions with End of the Road, which could both be used to draw 6 cards, which would be enough. Basically just, I think. Ay, yoy. Oh my god, okay. Oh my god. This is crazy town, dude. It's crazy. But we're not in any, like... It's the discarding of cards that's going to be an issue, right? I don't want to draw cards unless I'm sure I can make it happen. So I feel like okay, but I can't start with Leo because Leo would have to fight Cruel Interrogations, draw a card, and he'd draw 3, and that's not enough. So I have to do it this way around. Jenny, move. Jenny, fight. Wait. If there's a Yithian, you cannot trigger actions on encounter cards. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Alright, so I think we have to wait 1 more round. Which means Jenny waits in here? Maybe she scries? We'll see. Oh my god. Okay. Leo, fight the Scientist. Leo, fight the Scientist! We go... for 4... Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah. We're at 4-4. I commit the sled dog to go to 6. Excellent. We draw a card. We defeat this guy. Get the hell out of here. Second action. We get rid of Cruel Interrogations. Hopefully. Savant gives me 3 wilds. I already doubled my icons, so I'm at 5-2. Okay. Pass. Discarded. Third action. I go to the Yithian Orrery, where my max hand size will be increased. Great. Jenny, Don't draw more cards, Jenny. Let's scry. Jenny, baby. All right. Exhaust scrying. Spend a charge. Look at the top 3 cards of this deck. Cruel Intentions goes at the bottom. Who is more likely to survive a Rotting Remains is my question. Fuck. We each only have 1 sanity. That is such a nightmare. Okay. Because here's the thing. If I take Cruel Interrogations, I can't take draw actions, which means I could potentially draw a card. Yeah, no. So that has to go to the bottom. Frozen in Fear doesn't matter. It's just a question of who is going to pass my Rotting Remains test. I think it has to be Jenny. So I put the Frozen in Fear. I do this. Okay. Then Jenny is going to just take resources. Because she's going to have to discard a card anyway. Enemy phase. The keepers slither ever closer. Upkeep brings Jenny an intel report, and it brings Leo a Tetsuo Mori. My hand size is 6 for both of us, so I have to discard a card for Jenny. Yucky ducky. I think we discard... I think we discard the intel report. 2 Doom. I know what these are. Frozen in Fear and Rotting Remains. If this kills Jenny, so be it. I'll lose the victory point. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. Willpower. I'm doubling the icons on it. And momentum. Will I have enough? A card from Ythian Observer. 3. Yes, okay. So I'm going 3, so I'm going to 5. Incredible. Jenny? Okay. Incredible. Leo. We just draw cards. Sorry. The investigation phase begins. We each draw cards. With the custodian? Oh no! It's the mob enforcer! Let's make sure we can do this. 4 resources to parley the mob enforcer away. Then, if I'm not mistaken, I can spend 2 clues to... Let's read this, shall we? Draw 2 cards. If your hand exceeds your maximum hand size, draw an additional card. So, fuck, this actually won't work. That is a disaster. I need the action. Oh my god, that's a disaster. Well, hang on. Jenny can take the attacks opportunity. It's fine. So, okay, so we go. Because Leo needs to spend a clue, draw 3. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Draw 1. And then I no longer have an action to fight. So I can do nothing. Except, I guess, take a resource. And again, hope that we can do this. If I'm not mistaken, there are no Ythian enemies at my location. Okay, Jenny, let's do the math on this. 3 attacks of opportunity. That draws me 2 cards. This draws me 3 cards. This draws me another 3 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, it's way more than 10. And no weaknesses! We have 10 or more cards in our hand. Immediately advance. The machine whirs with intense vibration as the orrery begins to spin like a madhouse, right? We're going to be transported through space and time. It has taken many hours to construct, and you have had to build in secret, using the knowledge you've gathered from the various areas within the city. It is a strange device of rods, wheels, and glass about the size of a small filing cabinet. I think it's like powered by the orrery. A circular mirror in the center sends your alien reflection staring back at you. Oh, let me just give Jenny Barnes a nice little mental trauma from searching for Izzy. You activate the device, and you feel a tugging on your psyche, stretching your consciousness across the ether of space and time. The memories come flooding back. R1, baby. It's been a long time since I got R1 in this scenario, and with a drafted, almost dead group, no less, you awaken on the cold stone floor, cavern floor, your mind dizzy from its journey through time and space. Check the number of tasks that were completed. We have the custodian. We activated the device. We dissected an organ, realized what year it is, and interviewed a subject 5. Recording your campaign log, the process was successful. I cannot believe it. The process was perfected is better, obviously, but it's okay. We earn 2 bonus experience as we gain insight into the secrets of the Earth. My goodness, am I going to be spending this delicious, juicy XP on something good in draft. And then Victory X, there's 2 Ythian observers, and I believe 1, 2, 3, 4 locations with no clues is another 6 XP. An 8 XP haul. Jenny needs some sanity soak, but otherwise, some healing. Jenny, any healing? In order, read each of the sections. If the process backfired, blah, 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 so we skip. Check the chaos bag. If all of the following are true, we read a mind recovered. So this is if we recover Alejandro, basically, from the mind, but we don't. If the process backfired or backfired spectacularly, there's a chance that you are either out of body or remain as a Ythian. The narrow steps on the other side of the stone doorway seem almost endless. Though a dim red glow emanates from deeper within the cavern, no matter how many steps you traverse, the glow does not brighten. It almost seems to grow more distant with each step, mocking your tenacity. After a short while, you come to a small ledge where a stone gate bars your passage deeper into the cavern. The gate bears a familiar carved pattern, faded from age and disrepair and seeping with an oddly discolored purulence. Check your supplies. If someone has chalk, which I think we do. I can't believe I lost so many cards from my deck, too. Yeah, Leo brought chalk because he's a smart boy. The situation sparks your memory, and you consult your expedition journal. The pattern is similar to one found in the Edsley ruins. Using your chalk and the drawings in your journal as a reference, you restore the glyph in its entirety, and the grooves glow brightly once more. The stone gate is lifts on its own, and you're able to continue onward. So, no ill effects. Ooh, we have to cross off a provisions per investigator? I don't think I brought enough now. Do I have any provisions left? Sheesh. So we are low on rations. Hours later, you are almost too weary to go on. Every inch of your body aches with intense pain. There is nothing in this desolate cavern to eat but the occasional wild mushroom, and although temptation gnaws at your insides, you cannot tell which are toxic and which are healthy. So -3 resources each. I'm going to make a note. That sucks, especially for Jenny. Maybe I'll draft a another day, another dollar. Check your supplies. Medicine can save a poison boy. And if not, Mr. Ythian here, Mr. Leo takes another physical trauma. The poison has spread to nearly every part of your body. Your skin pales, and you're covered in cold, feverish sweat. Simply rising to your feet requires a tremendous effort, and you get no rest at night despite your exhaustion. It won't be long now before the poison claims your life. Oh my god. Ah, and no one has a blanket? After descending hundreds and hundreds of steps, you decide to stop and rest. Though your watch tells you night has fallen, the lack of natural sky is starting to affect your internal clock. With no flat ledge in sight, each member of your party claims one of the many narrow steps to sleep on. Sleep does not come easily for you. Barely any layers protect you from the bitter cold of the cavern, and you lie shivering for hours before exhaustion finally claims you. You awaken every hour or so as the shifting of your body almost causes you to tumble off your stone perch. When morning comes, you're even more weary than you were the previous night. Suffer one physical or mental trauma, your choice. I'm going to go ahead and give Jenny a physical, and I'm going to give Leo a mental. Now that's trauma. And then we're on to scenario 7. There it is, my friends. Leo and Jenny. Drafty friends. They made it out. They were successful in creating the process that would bring them home, but find themselves ever deeper underground, ever more, I don't know, terrified of what is to come. Jenny is going to be starting on 4 health and 1 sanity. Leo is going to be starting on 5 health and 4 sanity. It's not great. However, 8 XP means I can draft something for Jenny, hopefully that will protect her. Elder Signs helped pave the way, and we didn't draw tentacles on probably the most important tests. This has been a wild ride. I am shocked that we're still alive here, team. I guess you're going to have to join me for Scenario 7 of the Doomed Drafters. Whew. Doomed Drafters, Scenario 7, The Depths of Yoth, coming your way in the next couple of weeks. And hopefully you can join me for the Drowned City and some standalones whenever they happen. See you next time on Doomed.